Hey.
Would you just look at that?
Hello, everyone. We're back with D&D tonight. And I'm so excited because it's been like 3 years. So, my apologies. Life hates me and I hate it. No, but anyways, we're back.
Before we get started, can I make a request?
Yeah.
So, at the end of last night's stream, Tori and Zero may remember this, but I don't remember
Yes.
what exactly we prompted people to say in chat if they came specifically from our Dream Daddy stream. So
Oh,
if y'all
shit.
remember, please put it in chat.
Yes. That would be
Because
greatly
apparently Zero
appreciated.
forgot to. Anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
It's okay. They'll remember. I'm pretty sure we all remember because I totally do. 1000%
So
do.
the 3 people in the stream last night don't remember. That's great. ADD
All I
at its
can remember,
finest.
the only thing I can remember is how the drawing kept evolving, because that's all I was doing, was just watching you guys' drawing evolve and
That's
turn
fair.
into a bunch of hearts and random faces of admitting how sexy Craig is.
I mean, he is, though. Anyway.
Beautiful. But if you want to go see that and my sneakishly me popping in for art and did not join the voice chat, though I easily could have, I didn't.
That's
yeah.
fine.
Yep, I
Seize the
like to keep it
opportunity.
spicy. Yeah. So when they loaded up the art, there was already art there because they weren't ready. Because I knew what questions were coming to me. But anyways, speaking of questions, you guys had a lot at the end of the session, and I'm sure there's going to be none after our beautiful Silith tells you guys what the heck happened last time. And then I'll fill in any holes that we may have missed.
Woo!
Because, you know.
Because I
Oops.
take notes. Yay! 4.0 student.
Let's go.
Alright. So last session we started with, we went to the nurse's station. The guards seemed to be watching the nurse and the random body in the corner more than us. The nurse ended up taking samples from all of us and treated those with injuries. The nurse was the same but acting different and quote unquote nicer. And then we went to the common area where Kipper and Spears were in a corner along with pissed off Franklin.
Yes.
The majority of us as a group went up to Kippers and Spears and talked to them about their battle experience or what they were told to do, and it seemed like they were all separated. Kipper said he had a nice, easy, non-lethal fight. Spears said he wasn't paying attention to the rules and just murdered everyone.
Yep.
I have the
Stalkeen went over.
sexiest roommate.
Stalkeen went over to Connor and asked him about his fight. And Connor talked about how Tasha's group were more or less forced to beat the crap out of each other. And Tasha originally pointed or singled out Connor, beat the crap out of him. He got knocked out as Kylo and Wade tag teamed Tasha, but that did not go over so well, and Kylo may have ended up dying, and the body in the nurse's office might have been Kylo's. Yeah. Looking over. And Connor made a mention about how Wade is slippery and was probably having a long drawn out fight with Tasha. And Connor remembered something about Wade ranting about Stalkeen being naive. Wade ended up coming in later beat up. Pretty bad. Wade tells Connor that Kylo is in fact dead and was unable to be revived. Connor and Kylo then went to the cell and talked. Lyric and Sanchi got up to go beat up Franklin for not reading the room and talking shit. Lyric went up to Franklin, hit the shell, hurt his foot. Lyric and Stalkeen talked. Lyric tried to rile Stalkeen by using Mind Link. Oh yeah, just taunting him in his brain, and Stalkeen just ignored him. After Lyric looks ridiculous trying to do the mind link, looking like he's about to take a shit, Silent came up to try and figure out what the hell he was doing and gives him a small lesson in mind links and offers a little bit of mentorship for both Monk Rogue stuff and the Kalishtar stuff. Made a comment about how Lyric's footwork is a sloppy version of the monk training she had. And then actually showed that she's been hiding an ability to use astral projection to do a sneak attack on a second person. And that is about the time that the guards kind of interrupted this impromptu lesson, bringing Tasha in, and the whole block went silent. That is where we left off.
It's fascinating how you read your notes. But
Can I add
I
one
might have
little
added
bit?
some stuff in there, yeah.
yeah, of course.
The only
Adam.
thing I gotta add is so Lyric's whole thing was he was just trying to get to know Stockine by talking to him mentally. He wasn't trying to like rile him up that time. He was genuinely trying to use his abilities to talk to him. But he's so stupid that he just confused the shit out of Stockine until you noticed.
Absolutely precious.
He
Absolutely.
didn't confuse Stockine. Stockine just straight up didn't care.
Oh, then I,
Stockine
as the
was
player,
ignoring
was
him.
too stupid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
Stockine
as the player was
genuinely
too
ignored
stupid
him.
to recognize that.
yeah.
Genuinely didn't give a shit.
So I read the
That
room.
is his MO most of the time. He just does
Mhm.
not care.
Yeah, I read the
True.
room.
We got this. And with that, it had been like a good chunk of time, mind you, since Connor had led Wade up to the room, and in between the time of Connor going up there and taking Wade up there and chilling, it had been like an hour or so. Like it's been a chunk of time. As y'all were just sitting there
Yeah.
kind of like dee 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 dee.
I feel
having
like
a grand old
there was some type of weird conversation with Kipper where he just went on, I want to say, about chess and how
Yes.
each pieces were like handcrafted masterfully, and we were
Yes.
stuck in this conversation for like 2 hours
Yeah,
or
you
some
guys
random
were
shit.
Yeah, you guys were talking to Kipper for a long
I did not put in exactly
long.
what happened there, but I'm like,
Yeah.
that's not necessarily important. But
Yeah. Oh god.
Were you the only one that actually walked away from that? I can't remember if everyone else was weirdly polite.
no, I was weirdly polite and I stayed. I think Lyric and Stockine were like, okay, we're done with this. We're gonna go and talk to Connor.
Yeah.
And pissed off Franklin made a comment about Kylo being dead. Kilo being dead.
Oh yeah.
And then
Kylo
y'all
Ren
beat the
is
crap
dead.
out of him. I think y'all removed his legs. I could be wrong.
No, specifically, she removed his legs. She was like, "I'm taking those feet."
Yeah, I believe it was the feet.
Why,
not the
Sanchi?
legs. Wasn't it Frog's feet or something? Something
Yeah,
lucky
you
about
took her
Frog's
feet. You first said, "I'm going to take off her shoes," and then we were told she did not have that. Franklin did not have shoes, and you said, "Then I'm going to take his feet."
Yeah, you
And Tori said, "Sure."
Yeah,
You
so
gotta
you
send a
did
message.
amputate
Yeah.
pissed off Franklin.
So I have the feet.
And his
I
feet.
have the feet, is
Yeah.
what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Pissed off
I've
Franklin
got
is
the
dead.
feet. He's dead. I just took his feet, not his life.
This isn't Corey. It's not like he's a
fine.
werewolf and he's just gonna like
Yeah.
heal himself.
Normally, people die when you stab them.
Like,
Really, I didn't know that.
spoilers for the Corey, but like,
Oh.
I would like to point out in one of that one guy's campaigns, one of the more notable ones that we bring up quite frequently, Domo, who we used to have our old office with, surprised him by going, "Can I take the officer's feet after we brutally murdered an officer by trapping him in a flaming building?" And then
Oh my
decided to prop the door shut with the officer's foot.
y'all literally William Aftoned him.
Yes. Before it was cool.
Before it was
With a
cool,
foot.
it's so
You
great.
hipsters. Whoa. So
With the officer's own foot.
everybody's so creative. Oh my god. We all just locked this man in a burning building.
Hell yeah.
Cries all of the
Oh.
witches.
Who would've thought?
Like, screaming. from the grave, cursing us. Just like I'm gonna curse my effective speaking teacher or professor from college, who ruined any time I listened to any like presentation at work, because everyone at my job says after the end of every sentence or word. And let me tell you, I may or may not have stopped paying attention to the presentation and fully just counted how many ums halfway through, and I got to 129. But
Been
which would be
there.
negative 29 points on your presentation.
Yeah.
So, yeah, crazy town. But anyways, you all ended roughly as you said with Tasha being entered in and on the other side of the stairs. So as we kind of discussed, Tasha's entering like over here. In this photo, there's like more cells. It ain't that far. It's literally just like this first half. And that staircase is there, but there's like a door back here in this little area. So imagine there's a wall and it's not as long as you think it is. And from there, Tasha comes walking in, but at the top of these stairs over yonder, because the camera view is nice and crazy, Connor is standing there. And you all felt probably the most tension you have felt in a very, 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 very long time. As in, you don't want to move kind of like deer in the headlights, if I'm correct. I think there was only one person who was not actually affected by this, and I think they went to their room because it was Sanchi.
I'm
And
actually immune to tension.
yeah, of course. With your constitution save, everyone else was fucking paralyzed except for poor little Sanchi. But because she's just like cold stone, like I guess broodmare, not stallion. But anyways, monologue time. And what I'm about to describe, some of you may have seen if you follow us on social media. But anyways, me and my phlegmy throat. As the group left off, with both Connor and Tasha standing at either ends of the cell block, looking up at Connor, his hair no longer in the usual little kind of slutty boy ponytail it's always in, and for once he's wearing one of the orange shirts that kind of come with your guys's like pajama set of orange or jumpsuit. Usually the orange portion is kind of like tied around his waist, and he's always just in his like white tank top looking like a little salute because everyone in here be like that. I drew them. Anyways, the lights almost flicker on and off as the moon light just kind of comes in, the shadow covering most of his face, but the moonlight is just highlighting his neck, which happens to be covered in bruises, of course, quote unquote. You know what's up. As the lights come back on, a small grin almost starts to form on Connor's face. And as you all just kind of look over at Tasha, because you all are just stuck in the middle, except for Sanchi. From there, you guys look over at Tasha, who, for once, can you all do a perception check for me?
Even me?
Just for fun. No, you're in your room chilling.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to you in a minute. Unless you want to
You
come
don't
out and
care.
then look. But
No.
I'm starting off strong.
yep, we're getting the shitty rolls out real quick, guys. No worries.
Mid.
Yep. Silent. There we
Nice.
go.
That,
So I'll
that
say
checks-
silent.
that
And
checks out
what is
so
your
far.
passive, Stakeen?
My passive perception.
Yeah.
Let's see. What do I got? 10.
Cool. I'll just say you see it too, because it's not that hard
Aw,
to
that's
see at
so
this
nice.
point. You guys look over at Stakeen, or not Stakeen. Jesus, yeah, you all stare at him because he can't see shit. No, you all look over at Tasha, and for once, you for sure, Silent, know this. Lyric, I'll say you get a good idea. And Stakeen, you don't understand the gravity of this, but you know something has cracked. But you guys all look at Tasha, and he is pissed. You for once finally see him not just the stoic, silent, kind of bland, bottled, angered like thing. It looks like the cap's about to pop off at some point. And from there, it's just like silence. They're both just standing, looking at each other. And then finally, the guards, this moment seemingly feels like hours because it's just, I don't know how long you guys have sat in at least 5 seconds of silence, but it's awful. And from there, The guards just kind of like finally come out of hiding because they're literally just so tiny next to Tasha, who is just genuinely a brute. This man is huge, where he can pretty much hide 2 people behind him, 2 grown men behind him. And they just kind of like grab onto his like shackles, and you notice he's still fully shackled up, so he can't do a single thing. And they lead him up to his cell, and you all kind of either watch him or you look at Connor, probably both, because you're like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? One's not chained up and one is, and one has a very good reason to be very pissed off. And Connor the whole time just watches slowly, following with his eyes as Tasha goes to his cell, and they lock him up like manually almost. And as he's locked up, and the guards just kind of like have this real awkward stare about them. And I'll say, Sanchi, if you're like looking out the bars, you see them because he's kind of across the way from you, because he's on the upper floor, maybe like right here, and you're in, chilling right here or so, give or take. You notice that immediately the guards look awkward as hell because they also feel the tension, but they don't have context. So they're just kind of standing there like, okay, guys, I guess it's time to leave. And they just kind of start like walking out. And at this point, as they kind of get closer to the door, Connor finally starts to like step down and almost walk towards your guys' table. And Stakeen, you notice it because y'all have locked eyes at this point. You see he's staring right at you. And he whispers real close to you as he leans into you and puts like his hand on your shoulder. And he leans very far into you. And he goes, watch over Wade tonight. He should be asleep all night. But if he doesn't, please make sure he's well. And just like that, he kind of starts walking off as the guards are like, hey, sleep time. Get to your stalls. As they kind of do the like roll call, like hand, you know what? They'll do the little slooty hand thing that fucking Kadaj or whatever his name is from Final Fantasy Advent Children with his 2 little fingers.
God, yes.
Yeah,
They do that
Kadaj.
whole movement.
That was such a well-painted picture.
Got you. And so they kind of do that whole motion, and then you all kind of know the sign. And he walks into his respective cell, closes the door, which unfortunately is right next to Tasha's. And yep, you all kind of go back into your cells if you're not already there. Because I don't think anyone else left because Kipper was too busy talking about his precious chess knowledge. And so
I'm pretty sure he finished that. He finished that, which is why I walked away. I was being polite.
Yeah, like he was getting away, and then halfway up the stairs, he's like, what's this tension, boys? And from there, you all head back to your cells unless you're already there. Good old this section's so long. Good old Sanchi. We'll start with you because you've had a nice silent time. You are in your cell in the midst of everything going on. You notice all of Shithead's stuff cleared out, perfectly gone. You just notice it's clean. It's like they bleached it. It smells like fresh, clean. And you go to like crawl up into your bed, and in particular, you hear like a crinkle of something under your pillow, and you're like, "The hell is this?" Right? As anyone would, and you pull it out, and you see that it's flipped over, but you see on the back side, it just says one single word, and I'm going to add this all to your guys' things and see if it actually sends it out. And on the back, it just says Dad. And let me see if I can share it. If that pulled up to you all.
Oh my God!
Says Dad.
This is the best thing ever.
Yes! It's
Oh my god, it's your
It's your
boyfriend.
father. You notice. You recognize it as
Oh.
if like you have like the That's So Raven flashback, and you remember your dad sitting there with just like a brown-haired woman, and they're just like he looks so peaceful. And you don't remember why you remember this, but you do all of a sudden. You remember this exact moment and the soft musical notes that your dad used to play. And that's about it. Maybe you
Damn, that's brainwashed. I knew it. I knew it.
Oof.
hee 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 hee. Hee hee
Oh.
hee. But yeah.
Canyon.
All right. You talk about, and as you all are like walking to your cells, you're like, the shit is this? If you see it, I guess whoever's next door to
Oh
him
my
or will be
God.
looking, you can roll a perception to see if you see the piece of paper just come flying out of Sanchi's.
Oh my God. Who is next?
Me and Lyric.
Yeah,
I have the order: Stocking, Lyric, Sanchi, Silas.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So who's the what? Who's the cellmate? No, who's the cell that actually got close to me or?
Both of us were on either side of Sanchi, so
Yeah. Here,
Oh,
I will
okay.
throw you all out on.
my
Oops.
passive perception's a 15. So do I see?
Yeah,
it
thank
like
you. I've been trying to actually do that this entire time.
I got you guys. No worries. Oh,
Uh, you're
okay.
good.
We could
You're
have
on.
two. That's fine. There you go. Stocking,
All
you're all the way
right.
up here.
Two stocking.
True. There you go. The piece of paper is on the floor. So, yeah. So, Lyric and Silent for sure. If you see, like, I'll say you guys see it pretty easily. You
that. My
guys-
passive's 15, so I'm
Yeah.
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
You see a piece of paper fly out, and it says, or a photo that's now been like slightly crumpled, but like unraveling, as like photo
Crinkly.
paper does. And it just says "Dad."
Yeah.
Truly, of course.
yes, his dad's definitely an Elkin.
Yeah. The resemblance is uncanny.
Oh my God. Now he's just unfortunate.
It truly is. Poor unfortunate souls. But wrong campaign. But you know,
Lyric looks at it and just thinks, "Wow, I wonder if he's taller."
All right.
Oof.
But yes. And with that, we will start with Silith. Silith, you walk into your cell and Kipper kind of follows you and he like leans against the counter that is like near your guys' stall because you guys have that little like bathroom setup that's like screwed into the wall and whatnot. And he lands on like the one little counter by the sink and the toilet because we're not that barbaric here. And he just like lets out the biggest sigh of relief. And he's like, I truly thought that was about to be the bloodbath of the century there for a minute. Never did I expect to see them at such odds.
I figured it was a matter of time. Especially someone like Tasha, he does not seem to care that much about those around him.
Mm,
And if it was anything like our setup, it's hey, get a prize if you win, and I don't think Tasha's capable of holding back.
very true. And you notice, can you do I like doing rolls tonight. Do another perception check. That's what we're doing tonight. This is the whole session. Yeah, you notice it pretty easily that he seems in a very serious mood. Like he was just all yippee chess, and now he's like, you could tell he's clearly contemplating and just like, or tired. You're not too sure on which, but you could just tell that he's thinking. And then he just like as you're just about to say something, he's like, genuinely, I'm glad they locked the cell doors tonight because I'm exhausted, to be completely honest. And he goes up to his bed. And as you're already sitting on yours, because I can't remember if you took top bunk or bottom bunk. Do you remember?
I'm pretty sure I took bottom.
That's what I thought too. I was like, I feel like you're the only one that did almost, except for Stucky. But Yeah, like, so you're sitting on your bed and you know, like, you just sense the room. I'll say it's almost like your mystic, like, senses tingling. You know he's not sleeping, like, you could tell he's just, like, laying on his back with, like, his hands below his head, and you could tell he's just, like, sitting there. You've been here long enough, you know when the man's sleeping,
Yeah.
and he's just, like, laying there. But he just kinda sits there in silence as he just kinda, like, stares at the ceiling for a
Yeah.
while.
I'm probably not gonna go on my bed. I am probably going to sit directly in front of the gate and more or less
Yeah.
we'll say meditate because I am in the best shape of everyone, I'm assuming, seeing as how I took
Mhm.
no damage. So I am still going to keep watch just in case the bars get unlocked or someone tries to, jam something through doors or whatnot.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, I'm still gonna keep watch.
Alrighty. We're gonna move on to Lyric next, because you and Spears walk in, and for once, you walk in after Spears. Well, no. Let's roll a D2. Can you roll a D2 for me?
I can roll a d2 as soon as I remember how to do. I have to actually type that one out, don't I?
Yes.
Slash roll 1/2. I can't remember. Gosh.
Slash roll 1 slash roll 2. You said?
No, 1d2.
Don't add the spaces, but oh no, it didn't
Yeah.
do it.
Here, I'll put it in quotes.
Yeah, I was like, I
Thank you.
forgot to do the quotes. I was like, oh no. It's like unrecognized command. I was like, it's not a command.
Ooh.
But
Wait.
You can.
true. True. But yeah. You forgot the
Really?
slash.
Oh, damn it.
And the space. You
And
need
the
the one
space.
space.
Oh, wait. I didn't know I needed the actual space. Is that
Yeah.
supposed to be an underscore or no?
No. If you
Yeah.
copy
Okay.
There
what
you
I did
go.
exactly, you can get rid of the parentheses.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yep. Lyric, I'll let you decide. Do you walk in first or do you wait for him to go in the room?
I'll wait for him to go in the room. I told him I would
Okay.
do my best to let him have some rest.
Mm-hmm. And so you walk in after him and you notice for once, you can tell it's almost like a creep down your spine almost. You just feel like the shiver kind of come down. As for once, you notice he's not looking through you, but at you. And then he like goes to open his mouth to say something, but he hesitates. And then it's like you're about to say something and he's like, "There's only 9 of us left. The warden said they only needed 8. Who do you think is the next?"
Hmm. Well, if I'm honest, especially with how I am right now, I would take either that Connor fellow myself, or maybe Wade. He didn't look like he was in great shape.
Hmm. And he like nods a little bit. He still hasn't blinked, but he's looking at you. And he's just like, I think it's clear we know Tasha's gonna make it through this. But I truly hope we don't lose someone on our side. I've never seen Tasha look so furious.
It'll
He
be all
always
the
had
more
a
pleasing when we do.
calm sense of rage about him. It seems odd seeing him so worked up. Do you wonder what set him off in the fight between the 3 of them?
Well, someone like him, I imagine he feels like he has to be the dominant one in the pack, I guess. And I'm guessing the higher authorities made it very abruptly clear he's not. But that's just because, I mean, look at the way he runs things, or runs things, he quotes.
And he just finally blinks. He's like, I think for once I'm going to sleep tonight. As he just like lays down, almost like robotically, rolls over facing the wall, and goes to sleep.
Lyric stands there completely astonished. He literally cannot fathom everything that just took place. In all of the days, or however the fuck long we've been here, this is the longest conversation they've had. This is the first time he's had not just words, but acknowledgement and words. Like, this is the most positive affirmation he's had in years. And it's nothing. It's nothing from anybody else. But I don't know. Spears is just like that
Wow,
guy
my
right
last
now.
pillow wasn't good enough for you? Damn.
You're always kind. He's a fucking blank slate. he, you had him until this. but and then he just quietly turns to face the bars, and he doesn't say anything. He just keeps watch. Because he's not letting anything disturb this poor boy.
Oh, if you're up, can I do a perception check to see if I can tell that he's like at the bars?
Yeah.
Like, because if he's up, I'm telling him to get some fucking rest. He's way too beat up. Probably not with a 10.
Are your arms out, Lyric?
Yes.
Then yes, you see him. There's not much to see.
Once I see him, I will simply mind link and say, "No, I am in good condition. You got the shit beat out of you. Go to sleep."
Give me a little bit. I want just a little bit to make sure this guy gets some sleep.
Okay.
I have
just
never
need to
seen
get
him
some
sleep.
You definitely need your rest. I am in good condition. I have no problem staying up.
You don't need to stay up.
Oh, I plan on
Spears
it.
made a pretty good point today, and I'd like you to think about what it was. There's 9 of us left, and they only need 8.
Okay,
So
so you have Connor, who will probably still attempt to do something, and if that is the case, I have ranged weapons on me and more than happy and willing to back him up. Tasha's in a disadvantaged position, so that's a more likely option to happen. And then you also have half of y'all dead on the beds. That would make y'all an easy target for someone who might want to climb the ranks. I am going to keep watch.
look, I'm not doubting you or anything, but if it's Tasha, I want you to be rested. You
I
know,
am. I will
you know
rest
what
in the
I mean.
morning. I will
You know what
rest
I
in the
mean.
morning. I will rest in the morning.
If I go down, it was gonna happen whether I rest or not. I'm gonna be a bit banged up. But you don't need any reason extra, okay?
I
I
am
will get sleep
perfectly
though.
fine. Get some rest, or if you want to swap off halfway through the night, that's fine. But get some rest. You need it more than I do.
Fine. We'll do a swap.
I'm not planning on waking him up, by the way.
Oh,
I'll tell him. I'm not saying
traitor.
that in the mind link, but
Don't worry, I won't tell him either.
All right, so you got it. So he says you'll do a swap. What do you say, Silas?
okay, I will wake you when I get tired.
Deception check, please.
No, I'm not lying, but I'm not going to get tired.
Okay.
That does seem like a
where is it?
deception still.
Because you are
okay.
lying in the sense of, oh, I'll wake you up. And you're not going to. You have no
Fine.
intention. Lyric, an insight check, please.
Insight?
Unless you just
Okay.
believe her.
I was actually just about to say, I think I'll just let this one go.
Yep.
Because there are 2 people in this entire prison that he trusts. Technically 3 in terms of the fact that he knows he can at least hide behind Sanchi. But
It's debatable seeing Sanchi's like 3 feet tall. Not even.
Okay, I mean in the fact that like
I'm on the partial cover.
if someone is attacking Lyric, he knows that he can point at that guy and say he said something about the Thieves Guild.
Look, I'm not
So-
like That's not how it works, pal.
He doesn't know that.
Yeah.
But
Lyric doesn't have all the cookies in the shed. It's not the brightest
yeah,
cookie in that shed.
yeah, he trusts if Spears or Silence tell him anything, he's just gonna trust them.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it right now.
Whew.
So he goes
Well.
to lay down, tells her good night, and thank you.
And you go honk shoe. All right, Stakeen.
I'd rather go Hawk Tui.
Oh my god.
All right, Stakeen. You realizing, like, before you're, like, as you're walking up the stairs, stewing with everything that just happened, you know, before even opening your cell door, that you're like, oh god, it's like going into like your monthly one-on-one knowing that it's not going to be a fun time, but you have to do it. And you're like, all right, let's just go in. It can't be that bad, I promise. And as you look up into the stall door, you see, of course, Wade up already, like dressing his wounds, and he makes eye contact with you, like in the mirror, as you walk in. And you just do your usual. I imagine sitting on the bed, just walking over,
Yarp.
sitting on the bed, maybe hands like just holding your head, being like, "Jeebus, I have a headache." And there's just a moment of silence. And can you roll a perception check for me?
I sure can. If I can read.
I surely hope you don't forget that.
However,
And
the dice don't want me to do anything.
this is vile for you. I'm so sorry. But so you're sitting there in silence and you don't really sense anything besides you are processing and you're almost like lost in your thoughts for a minute until you're kind of like shooken back up to reality when Wade finally says, I know you have a lot of questions you want to ask me, but first, I need to know why. Why do you look completely free of wounds, yet you will not use that physical power you have against me to get the answers you want?
Why do you feel like I need to?
And he just like puts all of his like little like wrappings down that he was doing to like cover like whatever wounds he had, and he just like kind of turns around and looks at you and he goes, you seem very kind, Stakeen, and over the years I have roomed with you, and you have, and you can tell he like thinks about this before he says it, tolerated my tendencies, whether it is because you believe it benefited you or us in some way or another. But your group seems pretty keen right now to take down Tasha. You've constantly been having someone egg him on or just butting your nose in the business that you do. And yet, you have one of his top officials, his left-hand man, if you could say it, rooming with you, and you never once took advantage of me or laid your eyes even on me to benefit this cause that your whole friend group seems to have. Or even attacked me in a hostile way. The most is you grabbed me by the collar. I can only assume it's because you know I am much more valuable alive and unharmed. With all of that being said, you had asked my loyalty to Tasha, and if I still was loyal before, and you brought up an offer, right?
Right, I guess.
I would like to counter offer. I'm willing to answer up to 5 questions, no matter what you want to ask, as long as you know that this information does not leave this cell. And that you do a favor for me, which I will not tell you till the end of questioning. And I'm only putting a limit because I am extremely exhausted, as you know, kind of what happened. And if I don't get to sleep, it will not benefit us for tomorrow's test.
I can imagine, but I also know that Tasha told me to keep you safe. So,
Tasha did?
Connor.
Tasha.
Connor.
Okay, yeah, sure, Connor.
Yeah. I was like,
Wrong person.
Tasha
Was
told me to
literally
keep you
Tasha who
safe
was-
from him.
right? Like, okay, that's why I was so taken aback. Whatever.
Tasha's a good
It's all
guy.
good.
Really
love
bad
the
at
worried.
names there. Haven't learned Tasha's name after how many years?
Look,
Stocking
what
don't
he
give a
wants.
shit.
He does not care.
And Wade like walks over to his bed and pulls out from underneath his pillow. He's like, and just to make sure that no one listens in, because I can't really control the tone of my voice right now. It's a little hoarse.
Mhm.
Write down the questions, and I will respond to them.
All right.
Do
So,
we have a deal?
You said I can ask anything and you'll answer.
Yes.
How do I know to trust that?
Have you ever had a reason not to trust me?
There are many reasons why I don't trust the people in here, you notwithstanding.
They are
Well.
in jail.
You can take it for what you want. I'm not going to tell you who not to trust and who to trust. I'm just saying I'm willing to give you some answers if you want them.
All right.
Or I'm going to go
I'll
to
play
bed.
your game. I'll play your game.
Fair?
Ask him his favorite ice cream flavor.
All right. So Stakin writes down whatever he needs and hands it over to Wade. Really
Mhm.
gingerly, because at this point, every now and again, he looks up from writing his questions and he's still really unsure about why Wade all of a sudden is giving him this information so freely,
Mhm.
but he decides to hand it over.
And he looks at the questions long and hard. And he kind of just like, he's like, one moment. And he climbs up onto his bed and he starts writing. And time goes by and by. And you could tell he's writing like a novel to you. Almost. Like he's invested.
Long ass love letter, damn.
Right?
Here's the letter. It's morning.
Your mind link.
It's morning, no sleep.
Your mind link can't spectate his writing.
Nope.
Pathetic.
I think it's next level I can use my ghosty self to spy on shit.
1, 2, 3.
Well,
Not quite there.
I have owl eyes, so
I didn't realize owl eyes have X-ray vision only voluntarily going through which layers.
you fool. By owl eyes, I meant eyes that don't give a shit.
Uh-oh. All right, I'll do this the easy way.
I'll
Discord,
have Alice
because guess
to ears
what?
that want to sleep. Shut the fuck
Y'all
up.
don't get to hear this conversation.
Aww.
Oh no.
That's
No.
right.
Wait.
I'm keeping lore from you guys alone. It's okay.
Woohoo!
Quick,
Uh-oh.
just go to the fucking Twitch.
Oh
Read
shit.
it there.
Oh wait, so
Oh,
I can
That
go to
only
watch
works
Twitch?
if
This
it's
is
on my.
cool.
No, that only works
Yep.
if it's with me.
Yep.
Oh damn.
Yep. Sorry, folks. Y'all
Just-
don't get to see, and
just
I did
messages.
this on purpose.
You cunning one, you.
Mm-hmm.
The oldest trick in the book against the youngest eyes in the game.
Truly.
Fair
Truly,
statement.
truly. So. And with this, I forgot the final one. And as you're reading all that over, he's gonna talk to you because that doesn't make any sense. There you go. There's all 5 of your answers. From there,
Wait,
Thank you.
So
he
what you
finally
ask?
looks around. Oh, I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't tell you because
No.
that's meta.
Yep. And from there, he looks around and he like kind of almost walks up to the bars just to make sure no one's around. And then he's like, "The favor I have to ask of you, tomorrow, when we have free time, because we will tomorrow morning, I may or may not have gathered some information, and everyone's out of their cells after their test. Do not allow any of your friends to intervene what happens when it comes to me, Tasha, or Connor."
Okay, did he
I
ask this out loud?
imagine he did. He's like, I imagine, but he's very quiet about it.
But I have bird
He's
ears.
like, yes, but you can roll a perception to see.
Let's
He's
find
like,
Your
I am-
stupid birdie.
Yep, of course.
I'm very
You
okay.
do not care.
Can I claim my passive
Hey,
15?
I-
Or no?
I'm
You
in
could
the
do
next cell
perception.
over. I am definitely doing perception.
Yep, go
Nope.
for it. if
And
you
by
guys
bird
want
ears, I
to.
mean ears that don't give a fuck.
Well, that's
Yep.
why I was like, can I take my
Nope,
passive
nope,
15?
none of y'all here. Y'all too
I'm
EP.
already asleep.
Y'all too EP. He's like,
Too
I am-
focused on my meditation, damn it.
Exactly. And
You're
he's like,
supposed to be keeping watch.
he's like, I imagine it's going to get ugly, and I do not want anyone to get involved.
He's ugly.
Let us handle it, please. And he like almost looks like pleading. He's like, I don't want anyone to needlessly die because of something they have no business dealing with. Tensions will be high, I imagine, but keep them under control. Deal?
What exactly did you do to Tasha?
Mm,
You had your 5 questions.
nothing.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I existed is what I did do. And he crawls
Oh.
up to his bed and he goes eep.
All right. And as Stocking's kind of laying down,
Reading
kind of
over.
staring on his side, because
Yeah.
he did promise Connor to protect him,
Yeah.
he says, "All right, I'll entertain you. We'll see how far it gets me."
And you almost hear like a small chuckle and he's like, I'm just in pain. As he just like tries to play off his chuckle. And he's just like
Oh
he's
my
like,
god.
"Ow."
It's like,
Pain.
does he just kind of pull a Carl Weezer and go, "My scapula"?
Maybe.
Never
Oh
mind that.
my god.
All right, I was like, damn, real informative, Silent. Real informative on what this is.
I was
Speaking of
trying
Silent-
to put in notes.
Yeah, I imagine so. Oh, Silith, can you please roll a Constitution saving throw for me?
Oh, damn. I don't have good constitution saving.
No, you do not. And as you are sitting there meditating, suddenly you feel a cloth over your mouth and everything immediately gets fuzzy and you just hear whispered in your ear, I'm sorry. And as you fade to black and night continues on, Stakeen, you have another dream about your past and you don't know what is going on in this dream because it's not something you fully remember. Maybe it's repressed. Who knows? And it's just you running down the halls with this pink-haired child again, and you're always chasing him, and every time you seem to get around the corner, he's just like down the next hall, like almost irritatingly. And then it seems like it's like your 30th time chasing him. And throughout the whole time, you're seeing shadows of figures on the wall. You're seeing just there's movement happening, and you just like it's just like people walking around. And then you turn the final time. And for the split second, you see Kipper at the end of the hallway. And you wake up. And it is daytime. You hear the lights starting to kick on and flicker, and everything's kind of slowly getting up as normal, but you feel just a real eerie sense waking up. And Silith, you wake up in your bed at least, all tucked in, And you notice immediately as you jump up and look around, Kipper's gone, along with all of his belongings, and no sign of him. And the doors are still currently locked. But you hear the buzzing of the lights like you do every morning. And then the rest of you wake up. Sanchi, Lyric, Wade's awake. He's trying to like make himself look presentable, but you could tell he's definitely like putting his hair up in a ponytail, which, you know, you haven't seen in a little bit, but he's gotten it in a real good ponytail. He's prepared. And Sanchi, you wake up peacefully, except you notice that the piece of paper has flown back into your cell of your father.
What's this
Supposedly.
doing here? Hello.
Fuck this.
Lyric, you wake up and you see that Spears is awake and he's like stretching, which you've never seen him do. Like he's like stretching and he's like his hair's kind of wet. You notice as if like he like washed himself. And
My boy.
from there, you all kind of wake up and you're just doing your morning routine. What do you all do? We'll start. All of you roll a d20. Let's just do it that way.
Seems logical, Captain.
D.
Ah.
Oh.
Okay.
Hmm.
17, 19, 6, 7. Sanchi, you're first. What are you doing this morning? Your cell is
Well,
still locked.
It's
And,
a beautiful day.
Mhm.
Sunshine coming in through the bars, rainbows, butterflies. The room smells
Yeah.
like heaven. I brush out my feathers. I polish my beak. I look around, listen to the morning news as the guards talk about whatever they talk about as they do the rounds.
Mhm.
I
They haven't entered yet, but you hear them like in the little like
yeah,
room.
owl
They're talking
ears.
loudly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very
Um,
useful owl ears.
when they care.
Yeah.
And I
Selective hearing.
mhm,
All right.
yeah,
So you are
inspect
living the
my
life
surroundings too.
because you have a room to yourself. You're the only one, well, to your knowledge, you're the only one. Yeah, to your knowledge, that has a room by themselves. And you're just like, it doesn't smell like a porta potty in here. Holy cow. And you're just like able to wash your teeth and not look to see if there's like piss in the sink or whatever else could be lingering on the floor. It's just pure. You could stay here forever almost.
Would you say that I've recovered my rage and my hit
Yeah.
points and my
You all have gotten a full rest in one way or
Wow.
another. Yeah. So you all are back to normie.
Wow.
Silith, you wake up. You feel rested. Can you roll another constitution save for me?
Hopefully it's better.
You
Average.
feel
A
yeah, you
little.
feel like back to normal. Your head's still a little fuzzy, but you can't tell if that's because you just had like a hard night's sleep or it was whatever you inhaled. But you wake up and you see that all of Kipper gone. No sign of him.
I would like to
Toodaloo.
still do like an investigation check to like
Yeah.
actually tear apart the room.
Yeah, go for it.
Hopefully it's not shit.
There you go. Look at our rules tonight, folks. We're getting there. And with that, you tear it apart. His stuff, nice and clean. And it's just overall spotless. It's as if like he was never there. You look at the door. I'll just say you do the whole room. You look at
Yeah.
the door. You look at the window as you climb up on his bed. His window's perfectly fine. There's nothing bent. There's like all the dust that was there is still there. So you don't see any fingerprints. You look at the door. The door's not jammed. It's not rigged. You don't see anything broken on it. It's as if he was willingly allowed out. And all of his belongings is gone, and you just hear that echoing voice of him in your ear saying, "I'm sorry," and then leaving.
I'm not even gonna bother to pick it up. I'm just gonna kind of sit on the floor and fucking meditate some more.
All right.
Try and calm down until doors are open.
Find
Yep,
him in the
and
ether.
yep, and Sanchi, what is your passive?
My passive perception?
Yeah.
A very high. 14.
Ooh. So you passively hear this, but I'll let it be up to you if you decide to investigate the room getting like viewed apart.
Yeah, I'd like to find out a little bit more about that. Hey,
Go right
hey,
ahead.
Silas. Hey,
Hmm.
hey, what's up?
Hmm.
What's going on? Everything good?
Skipper is gone.
Gone where?
Good question.
So calm.
Oh, did they... Did the guards take him this morning?
Good question.
You didn't see? He just
No,
let your
I'm pretty
roommate...
sure he drugged me.
Oh,
So,
well. Well, I guess if it was his choice to go wherever he went, then it's probably not a big deal.
or he's doing something stupid.
Well, that's his freedom to do. If he's doing what he wants to do, then who are you to stop him?
If your friend jumps off a bridge, do you stop them? And I'm not talking about a friend with wings. And I'm talking about a lethal jump.
If it is their choice, you tell them, you give them all the best that you can, and then they do with that as they will.
Silas just gonna huff and just go back to meditating.
We're free people. We all must make the best decisions we can for ourselves.
Silas not gonna respond anymore. Just go back to meditating.
And that's your decision.
No response.
Damn. And then you go back to like, you know, fixing up your feathers and continuing about your day.
My
All
beak's gonna
right.
be so polished.
It's gonna be sparkling. It's gonna be like a mirror in itself.
That's right.
Be fabulous, photogenic.
Mm-hmm.
Sakin, you're up next. You wake up.
Alright.
You see Wade standing there getting all ready, per usual, taking the most time. And he just kind of looks over. And he's like, morning.
Morning. Did you sleep well?
Yeah, for once, I actually just slept.
Good. You weren't in, I guess, pain from what happened yesterday? Healed up?
Overall, really oddly healed, yes. He like looks at his fingers and he's like, I only broke one nail. And that wasn't even from the fight. And he like winks. He's like, so I must be in better spirits.
I see. Seems very uneventful, I guess, compared to what everyone else seemed to have gone through, but appearances can be deceiving, as you well know.
I think it's safe to say I most certainly got well, I guess Kilo's the one that really got the worst beating, but does he really count if he's gone?
I would venture to say it does, but
That's fair.
who's to say, I guess?
Guess I'm a little heartless. And he just like shrugs. Then he just kind of goes back to getting ready. He's like, did you need to do anything at the sink or restroom? Any of that?
And Stakeen just kind of nods a little bit and gestures over to the toilet. He got to take a dump.
And like Wade just like picks up like what seems like an ungodly amount of like supplies to have in prison, but like he has like a whole skincare routine. He's very proper about this, and he like picks up all of his little like amenities and his little travel kit essentially, and rushes off to where he goes when you poop, which is like a corner of his bed, and like he has like a little like he like for whatever reason, Sakin, you've noticed that he learned how to unscrew the mirror, and so he just takes the mirror with him when you are doing that, and so he just takes it with him every now and then, and he just continues working on himself because, vanity. And you go poopy. I imagine
Fair
you're not
enough.
speaking to him while you are pooping.
No.
Okay.
So
We're not
Stakeen
that
does
level
his
of couple.
no. Stakeen does his morning poo, as we
Yeah.
all do. Then he gets up, washes his hands, brushes his teeth, splashes water over his face just to make sure he's awake, and kind of straightens up a little bit, but doesn't do a whole lot as far as like a care routine, because his whole thing is we're in prison. Who's gonna see us outside of the government system? Who wants to keep us in a cage? Um. So then he
Yeah,
just goes
man.
over. Yeah. He just goes over and lays back down in bed, just kind of staring at the top bunk, until they let us out.
Alrighty. And Lyric, you wake up to a stretching, wet-haired Spears. He's almost like
Hello.
doing yoga.
In a weird way, Lyric has a feeling of this is my cinnamon roll. I will protect. And weirdly, I don't know. Like, I haven't really decided if Lyric is attracted to him yet or not. I think he's just more curious.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Lyric hops out of bed. Um, just for funsies, we'll say he almost slips on himself when he lands, and he he walks up to Spears and says, "Hey, did you enjoy your first nap?"
I did. And you
I
notice
can.
he looks over and smiles at you.
Lyric has
Dies.
decided.
Just
And then they kiss.
dead. Right there.
So, um, yeah,
And he's doing like
I'm-
that weird like yoga move where it's kind of like he's up on his hands in the palm and he's like his back's like arched and his little feeties are on the ground.
The
I don't-
bridge.
Yeah, is that what that's called? Let's
I
find out.
believe so. Like that's what we always called it in high school.
Lyric has an urge. He's
Oops,
not going
this
to
is
follow
apparently
through
a
with this.
movie. Spoiler.
Oh,
Nope, the other
It-
way. No.
Oh.
What is it? It's not the. I know they don't call it doggy style. That ain't right.
Downward dog or
Downward dog?
I think that's what it is. No, the other way.
Yeah, that's a bridge.
Oh, wait, are you talking about the
down.
back arch?
Yeah,
that's
the
a
back
bridge.
arch.
We'll just call it the back arch for easy sake, whatever.
Here it is.
I put
Oh,
it in
this is-
memes, so I don't know what
Yeah.
like those are both considered part of like bridge exercise.
No, he's in this one. They also call this whatever, but
Oh, that is
So-
downward dog, I think.
Well, Lyric has
No,
an
that's-
undying
Or no,
urge.
they call it downward facing dog for the
uh,
stream's purposes.
no.
Wait, okay, hold on.
Hold on. He's doing this. Thank you, Google and Yogu Online for tips and tricks on how to do this move. He's doing this and turned to
Yeah.
smile at you.
Lyric
I
fights
still don't know what this is called,
everything.
but
That's what came up when I typed in downward facing dog.
I
Just
want to
Okay.
say Cobra Stretch.
I have no idea. Yoga's wild, and I have not
like-
gotten into it.
It is Cobra. That one in particular is Cobra.
I think that's Cobra.
Yeah.
I'm
Either
not
way.
quite a yogi, but I definitely followed along to some. Yeah, Cobra Stretch.
See, yoga with Adrian is the best, fam.
Ooh, I'll have to get into it
20
one day
minutes
instead
on
of just
YouTube.
crying. I was like, oh, one day. Instead of breaking down, I'll just have to start doing yoga.
No, it's up dog. This pose is up dog. Oh, you found it.
I respect the game.
Yep. And so he's doing that and looked over and like did a cute little like smile. And then he goes back to stretching and like lifts up one of his little legs and his toes all pointed and everything. And then he stands up and he does like the usual like arm to elbow behind head stretch thing that I can't do because I have too long of arm.
Well, now I'm doing it.
There you go.
Me too.
Oh
I'm
my
glad
god.
you
Oh,
all
Just a
can
sounded
do
little
good.
it.
It
bit,
sounded good.
I don't have like arm, or maybe my arms are too short. I don't know. I can't do it. My brain don't process that way, or I'm just not that flexible, and my shoulder blades are just that like larg. So I got them big muscle, obviously, and so muscle. But yeah, no. So he does that, and he's like stretching it out, and he just like does a little like side like he's fully like he is like happy now that he's slept. Even some of his bags under his eyes are gone, and he doesn't look as menacing when he looks at you, and at you for once, not through you. And he then like kind of looks back at you and he goes, "Did you sleep well?"
I wait. Oh, I, mm, he he is so caught between wanting to do two things right now. I I did. Silith helped me do something that I have to talk to her about. But we will continue this. If anything goes down today, I've got your back, and I'll be right back. And then he runs over to Silas. So
The doors are still locked,
Yeah.
so you
fuck, never mind.
He just runs up on
Not yet.
her.
I will
Sorry, I got
say,
confused. I got confused by the whole like Sachi and
Yeah.
Silas
no,
thing.
we're just next door, and she was talking to me. I will say,
Okay.
probably after a few minutes, like once I hear people moving, I'm gonna say like Silith is having issues concentrating, like trying to meditate, and goes into like the different katas or like the choreography dances of like karate, where it's like you actually practice like your blocks and punches with like almost a level of anger that I don't think anyone's seen here if they are actually looking at me.
Well, I can't from over here, so I guess
Yeah.
I have to like
Yeah, not
backstep
really.
what I was saying. Um,
Yep.
so instead of exiting to go have a conversation, he will instead, after he gets flustered, realizing that he has to talk to Silent, he's just gonna say like, um, I can't imagine how scary you're gonna be now that you've slept for the first time, and what I can imagine is how long have we been in the cells?
A while.
Maybe that.
Years.
Sarah, the bags under
Yes.
his eyes gone.
Like,
Some of
like
them.
I,
He still has
like
a
I'm not
few,
gonna,
just not the whole luggage set anymore.
like I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if you've ever slept before.
Mm-hmm. He just kind of looks at you, and like you almost see that look come back. He's like, "Regardless, I appreciate it."
Well, feel free to do that more often. It's good for you. And seriously, can you imagine how scary you'd be if you got in a fight right now?
Mm,
And you killed 3 people in like, how quick?
far too quickly.
Speaking of, were any of those that shithead guy?
Uh, I don't. He's like he pauses for like a long moment,
The
and he
smelly one.
goes.
The smelly one.
He's like, "No, I know who it is." And well, I mean, I didn't do much, but
Well, when you're effective, you don't have to.
yeah. But no, he was not.
Huh, I wonder who did that. Hmm.
Oh, and then he's like, "Oh, wait, you mean the one that thought he was a dog?"
Yeah, that guy that reeked of shit. The one that stays with Bird.
Oh. And he like pauses, he goes, "Yeah. Yeah."
Well, now we know what happened to him.
he just like kind of like gets real silent and he goes, "Huh? How'd I forget
Sanchi
that?"
owes Spears a favor now.
That's not true.
Wow, y'all are so cool. He was mentally ill. Damn.
Oh,
He
was
R.I.P.
making
Silent's the
mentally
only one who
ill.
actually feels bad for him. Damn.
You
Lyric
didn't know
was trying to
Poopy
get.
like we did.
Yeah, no, that was the
Bro
main
still
reason
has
the
some
hate came.
hatred towards Poopy.
But no, Lyric was still actually genuinely curious because he never got to talk to him in
No,
the
you
head.
didn't.
Nope.
And so Lyric is processing that. He's not mad by any means. He's just like,
Yeah.
oh, that's a book I'll never get to read.
And like Spears just kind of like shrugs and he starts like picking up his gear that you notice he hid like intricately into his mattress. Like it looks like his mattress wasn't even ripped, the level at which he sewed it back together. And you just notice this with your passive. You don't even have to look. And he just like grabs his bow, gets some of his arrows out, and he starts sharpening them. And he's just like sitting on the counter and he's just back to doing his own thing.
Lyric looks at him and uh, feeling the what was it? Feeling the inspiration of just seeing him just immediately get to it. Lyric just starts practicing his drunken fist a little bit, and as he's practicing, he passively just says like, it, "I swear to God, I have the coolest soulmate."
And he just like yet again you look over and notice a small smile. And then he goes back to doing his shit.
Lyric does that thing, that anime thing where his like face shoots back straight and his chin straight up. He's got like the squinty like eyes, slightly like small
Oh.
tears coming
Oh.
out. Like yes,
Oh
Oh
my
my
god.
god. Oh my god. What is
he was
it?
never supposed to be this soft of a character, by the way.
That's
Oh
how
my
it
god.
goes.
Wait, Lyric wasn't?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
but
I'm
this is
just
like
imagining.
if Captain Levi got nice.
Oh my god, where is that panel? Where is it? Oh my god, I have the perfect panel for this. Ah, here it is. I found it. Eh. I can't put this on stream. Shit.
The
Oh,
memes.
no. No, it's fine. It's fine. I have a way. I have a way.
Insert a picture of Frankie to see
You have
saying
the
something manly.
power.
Nope, this is what I envision. Let me see if this actually works. Did it want to do the thing?
Do
I
the
have
thing.
to-
Do the
Oh,
roar.
oh snap, I can't do
Julie,
that.
do the thing.
Oh god. Okay, fine. I'll do this the long way. Control print. This can't be right. This
But-
can't be right. There has to be a way. There has to be a way I can just get that face. There's no way I have to have the whole thing because I don't know
Have
if
you
I could
tried
put that
this-
on stream.
Have you tried the snip tool? Windows
Yeah, that's
Shift
why I
S?
tried. Yeah, I tried to copy and paste it into paste here.
Wait, that's different. Copy and did you wait? The snip tool
I
is
didn't
different.
pay. Yeah,
Okay.
maybe I open it in Paint. Copy. I have too many tabs open. Paste. Paste. No, why does this hate me? It's fine. It's fine. I have a many of things open. We'll do it this way. This is so dumb. I can't believe I'm committing to this bit.
Hooray.
Dude,
I
respect
can't
the
believe-
game. Respect the bit.
You've committed to stupider, I'm sure.
Honestly, save desktop. Lyric win Spears. Oh, that's spreads. That ain't right.
Later that night.
Dot. Oh my
Yeah,
God,
with
don't
the
say
jury's
Easy
not out yet.
after hours. Let's go.
Y'all want to see the
Da,
the
da,
making of? Here we go. I can't believe I went through all this just for this panel.
Oh my god.
For this panel. I went through
You know
all
what?
of
You know, respect the game.
this. Literally what I envisioned. And now you know why I couldn't put the full thing on there, because of how everyone does the whole panel.
It's called
Yeah.
pogging, by the way.
I can't do it.
Yeah,
Because
the name of that face is pogging.
there we go. I knew that, but I was just like, I needed this specific one because I can't put the full fucking shit on the stream. But literally just how I envision lyric. Just
Not at all how I meant, but okay.
I'm surprised we found that so quickly.
Alright. You all want to know what I Google searched?
No, I do not.
Oh boy.
Yes, I'm terrified, but
No,
yes.
I don't want to know.
Probably the words in pogging.
No, I literally. Oh, I have to redo it. I literally, I forget where I did it. I forget the last bit of the words, but I know it had something that's not stream proof on here. But anyways, my search history is already wrecked, so it's fine. And with that,
That's why you use.
we then have a perfect time to take a 5-minute break. So everyone can go pee, drink cough syrup, do what they gotta do.
Ooh, cough syrup.
everyone. We're back. We're back from break. And
never even
our whole
left.
little crew. I know. It was wild. Such a Speedy Gonzalez break for once. Look at us. We got a lot of things to cover. And as you all are in your cells, because we're still on that page, and I went to a different one, because why? I'm an absolute
Because you
dummy.
can.
Yeah, because I had to set something up, because I
'Cause
thought we were
you're
going somewhere
God.
soon. Facts. I thought we were going somewhere sooner, and then we weren't. And I was like, LOL, JK. So
Ain't that
anyhow,
boring.
you all then notice that you hear the guards coming in, but you also then notice as they shout, all of you to the cell doors, and they do the stupid Kadaj little fingers. I hate that. I hate it so much. That's why it's burned in
Really?
my skull.
But it
It
conceals
drives
so
me insane.
nicely.
It's such a snooty little move, and I'm like, oh, you sassy son of a bitch.
It is though. It is.
It's so
Yeah.
sassy. For those who
Kadaj
don't
is
know,
probably one of the sassiest villains.
I love
honestly,
him. He's
So
one of my
good.
favorites.
he's
Yeah.
precious. He only ever does it once, and it's so good. But at
He only
the worst
needs to do it once.
He does though.
It's so ridiculous. For those who don't know, go look up
Go
Kadaj's
watch that
snooty
movie.
fingers.
It's so fun.
It is.
Oh, it is so good.
So good. But anyways, so they do their little slooty finger movement, and they're like, all of you to the cell doors, and all of you guys line up to your cell doors, and you all look down. Can you all do a perception check for me?
I can,
Aye, Captain.
with
Mhm,
my
mhm.
owl eyes.
My special
Good.
eyes.
Okay.
Damn it.
Rough.
They just don't want me to do
Wow.
shit.
Nice
okay?
try, not owls.
Sanchi, you're the only one that truly
Owls.
recognizes.
That checks.
Silas is in too much
Yeah.
of a mood.
Silas be pissed. And you notice that the little warden, or head honcho warden lady, is down there. The rest of you recognize her from the other day, but you may not remember what her title is. You're
Oh,
like,
it's that bitch.
"Who's that
Respect.
lady?" Solid.
It's a
And
bitch.
from there, she looks around the room, and as you guys look across, I'll say Sanchi, this is where it really pertains. You look across and you see Tasha is still alive, firstly. Still alive.
Drat.
Still has handcuffs on him. And you see Connor. He's still he has his hair in his nice little like F me ponytail again. And he's just like he's back to his usual self, but you can tell he is pissed. He is ready to go. He's ready to get this off, done. He's ready to get this door open. But you look back down at the warden, and she goes, "Good morning, all of you. Seems as though this cell block is surprisingly the most well-behaved. Give yourselves a round of applause. But
Blaz.
Fuck you.
Lady Gaga comes popping out like duck walking. But anyways, today's your final test. Seeing you all can probably do some simple math and realize there's not that many of you left.
What happened to
Stakeen
Pista
shoots Lyric a
Franklin?
look.
And she looks up at you and she goes, I think you very much know what happened to Franklin.
What happened to Naruto?
She doesn't
Fuck
call him
Franklin.
pissed off Franklin.
That's her character defining trait. She doesn't call him pissed
She
off
doesn't
Franklin. I can't believe I'm gonna
That's a
have to
pretty
make a
defining
t-shirt
trait.
of pissed off Franklin and hope we don't get copyright claimed.
Sandra, can you do that?
Just make him look really gruff looking, and also put black blocks around his feet.
Just put like meme glasses on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you
As
go.
long as it's changed enough, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Just give
We'll
him
have
angry
to-
eyebrows.
Yep. We'll have to call it the OF shirt because if we put Franklin in there, they'll copyright strike us. Happened to drop
Oh,
it when they
absolutely.
did Todd from Mario, who looks nothing like Toad. But literally, yeah, we'll make shirts for pissed off Franklin, R.I.P. But
Ew.
anyways, so she looks around And she goes, "We'll be taking you all in one by one. It is a written and verbal exam
Oh.
Oh shit.
for both questioning and your final physical examination. Thank you all." And she walks right back out. She doesn't address anyone. She doesn't look anyone in the eyes after that. And she walks out, and the guards walk right on up to your cell. Silith, I kept accidentally mistyping these as something else, and I was like, "Ooh, this is bad," and I did not fix it on this one.
Oh.
I may or may not have kept calling them stalls, and I was like, "This isn't right." They're cells, not stalls. This is fucked up, Tori. Try again. And anyways, the guard walks up. Two guards, to correct, walk up, and they go, "The warden wishes to speak with you first." And as they unlock your door, they bring out some handcuffs. Do you comply?
Yeah, I'll say she's probably gotten the majority of her irritation out, we'll say. And
All right.
back to being able to actually control her emotions.
Sorry, I'm suddenly acting like I'm sick again because I coughed once and I was like, haha, I'm sick. So,
Do I get translator if needed?
No.
she knows your language. No worries.
Okay.
And as you go walking down the aisles and whatnot, you are. It seems like the longest path, but then you read the little sign on the front and it says Warden's office. And you get to go to the Warden's office. And I'm just going to flip us to that screen because all of you will be here at one way or another.
Fair
So,
enough.
Okay.
you all get to see the Warden's office. It's as if you all are in there as well. Ta-da! Cute little Warden's office. And it looks this ornate. It has the wall paneling plush. There is a window. Like, she has a nice
This office looks very familiar, says Haribo in the middle distance.
Yes. Yes, it does. And so from there, you good times. And you walk in and you sit down in one of the plush chairs. And like if you tried to talk to the guards, they're just like, "Hey, be quiet. Like we're not gonna answer anything." They're really stern.
Did you choose to sit on the little wooden table?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, that's what she's going to do. Like crisscross
Hooray!
applesauce.
Hmm. And she looks and she goes, she just like shakes her head, and then she's like, "Glad you've made it this far. The higher ups and I have some final questions to ask you, and then I'll read back some feedback from the fights that you guys had yesterday. Is that all right with you?"
Ah.
Okay. What do you believe is your greatest strength you could offer to the government?
Hmm. Define strength.
The best thing you have to offer, your talent.
Uh,
You're beautiful.
silent
Singing voice.
communication.
And she like writes it down, not using the laptop. She writes it down. From there, she goes, "All right, thank you. Will you remain loyal to your government if we grant you freedom?"
Hmm. She takes a minute to think about it, and it's like, like, I guess I have no other place to call home, so might as well call this place home.
She writes it on down. She goes, and then she asks her next question: "Are you willing to undergo physical training and reformation training?"
What is reformation training?
Mm-hmm.
What's
So what
that?
we're, yeah. So the reformation training, from my knowledge, is they're just going to be getting you ready for society and reforming you.
So job skill, common language tutor.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're willing to undergo both?
Yeah.
All right. Who do you believe is the greatest threat in this facility?
In what regards?
However you interpret threat.
Tasha physically. Sanchi doesn't have loyalties to anyone but her guild. uh, hmm. Spears, I don't think can be read. I don't think can necessarily be controlled, which always makes them a threat.
Mm-hmm.
Probably those three, depending on your definition of threat.
Alrighty. Thank you. And she's like writing stuff down. Do. And then she asks the golden question.
Made of gold.
Why do you believe you should be selected?
One, my behavior is not ruthless. Two, I can follow rules and directions. Three, I have very good self-control and good ways of dealing with poor emotions to maintain that self-control. Four, my entire life has been spent honing and maintaining control of body and mind.
Anything
I,
else?
I think that's about it.
All right. And then she like shuffles some paper. She puts those papers like in her desk. And then she pulls out some other ones in like a file and she goes, like to go over the reviews and results from the physical testing and test results. Overall, you seem healthy, all things considered, as you stated, because you take care of your body. Though we do recommend a bit more of a balanced diet from what some people saw. While you did not choose to fight, they still observed how you used your time resourcefully, planning in the next steps ahead. Overall, they do wish to know more about your physical abilities if we choose to move forward with you in the selection. And she like kind of like rolls her eyes and she goes, which is silly for me to say because there's only 8 of you, but that's what they tell me to say. Keep
I'm
it
gonna
under
stare at
wraps.
her and just have my astral arms appear behind me.
She like takes out the other bit and notes it down. Personally,
Like vaguely as an intimidation
yeah.
tactic, but not
Yeah.
actually doing anything.
And then she just like kind of looks and she goes, personally, in my notes, I was less keen on you as a selection due to the lack of ability to follow orders and fear that if we gave you the chance to leave this facility, you may just run off and not complete your duties that are given to you at the chance to be free.
Again, I have nowhere to run. Why would I leave?
That was before I got to speak to you. And I have it all noted here. But I just wanted to read that to you. Overall, nothing came of a concern on the physical exams that were done the other day. And from there, the guards, she like almost like waits awkwardly, and then the guards just come in. She doesn't say anything to them, but they just like come in because they left. And from there, she goes, fantastic. Thank you, Silas. Could you send Lyric in next?
And I'll just turn around and
Yep.
walk
And they
out.
guide you on out of there.
And I'm trying to figure out. She's like thinking, like, what rule did I not follow? I didn't. They didn't say fighting was mandatory, but
Right. And as you all know, you all are about to be asked these questions, but no worries. I'll read them all again. So, Lyric, you come on down and you're brought on to the warden's office, and, you know, the guards give you the pretty much the same treatment. Silith, you do notice that you're not sent back to your cell. You're allowed to just kind of be in the open area and you get to eat breakfast, and they're all like there already named and like portioned out for everyone. If you choose to mess with other people's food, be my guest. I won't stop you. They're all behind the bars.
No, that is not the type of person Silas is.
Yep. So there you go. So you get to eat. All right, Lyric, you sit down. Do you choose to sit on the table or the chairs?
Is she already sitting down?
Yes.
Damn. Lyric chooses to, while walking over, grab a book from the shelf, and that
Oh my god.
Your
doesn't
hands are
actually
still
like.
probably cuffed.
Yeah, they are, but that's okay. There's no guards in there.
Doesn't
It's
mean
just
I
her.
can't read.
Yeah, I was like, you
Uh,
technically can.
and I just like look through it, like turn a couple of pages, throw the book on the ground, and then sit, plop both of my feet up onto the table on the chair, and then kind of lean back as this is the most comfortable seat he's been in a while.
And she just watches you, and you notice she takes notes. And from there, she goes, I see you're excited that you've made it this far. I have some questions to ask you, and then I'm going to go over the reviews of your physical exams. Is that okay?
Sure, but this far, lady, I don't think you understand how I think. Every day is every day is the day that you could die, and if you wake up, it's good. I didn't make it this far. It just happened. I
Noted.
live.
With that being said, what do you believe is your greatest strength you could offer to the government?
Why would I be offering anything to the government? The government put me here.
Correct. But you've gone through the testing to get your freedom. Innocent.
Wait, was there an option for that?
No.
Oh, it kind of just feels like you're complimenting me for something you've made me do. Then don't know if I can take that.
Well, you survived long enough to get here.
I suppose some of that was luck, but I guess that would be my greatest strength if I had to offer the government anything. I'm weirdly lucky with, even though I have terrible luck. Don't try to ask me what that means. It just happens. Like, for instance, I'm sure you guys have noticed. You notice everything. You nosy fuckers. I'm probably the only one that's ever gotten spares to talk more and really pay attention to anything for a moment, like himself for a moment.
Hmm.
Also, and on the total opposite side of things, I seem to have made friendly with possibly the nicest person in this prison. I honestly don't know why she's even here. Um. Oh, and if anything's lucky, I have worked with that damn fucking owl for years before ever setting foot in this prison, and I'm still alive. You don't know how awesome that is.
Aha.
But
Let me jump
I,
around
I,
quickly. Seeing
hold
this.
on. There is one more
Okay.
thing. One more thing.
Okay.
This is actually probably kind of rolling into the thing, but I'm very good at being bait or a distraction.
That's true.
All right.
And since I don't mind if I die, like I'd like to live, but if I die, it happens. I don't care. So always useful to have a chip in there. Old, I lost the metaphor.
Okay. Let us get back on track here. Will you remain loyal to your government if we grant you freedom?
I'm always free.
Out of the jail and prison that I run.
If I can breathe, then I'm free enough.
And you'll remain loyal?
Where the fuck else would I want to go?
Good. And are you willing to undergo physical and reformation training?
Alright, I understood the physical word, but you're gonna have to explain that other thing to me.
We're going to reform you so that way you can be better off in society and be used for what you will be in the future.
Lyric adjusts himself and he takes his feet down from the table. He stands up for a moment and then he sits back down after taking a deep breath. Why in God's name would I want to change for a bunch of cunts who don't know who I am?
More so just get you acquainted with what you will be doing in the future, not changing who you are. They chose the prison for a reason.
Mm. I can still use vulgar language though, right?
Yes.
Drink?
Questionable. That's not really my call, but I can note it down in your file.
Look, as long as you guys get me money when I need it, and I can drink, anything else I guess is extra.
Alrighty. And she like writes all of it down. And then she's like, and who do you believe is the greatest threat in the facility?
Mm. Well, if I'm gonna be honest, I would probably say Sanchi if it wasn't for the fact that she's easy to win over. All you have to do is seem friendly to the thieves guild that we work for. Do that, and
Mm-hmm.
she'll always be your friend. Otherwise, it's a toss-up between Tasha and Spears. Spears can go for, God, I don't know how many. If he didn't sleep the entire time he was here, he'd have to sleep only when I was, and before I could ever wake. And he's still terrifying with a bow. I don't even know where the fuck he got it.
You made it.
That's kind of awesome. But in Tasha, for obvious reasons, although yesterday kind of made me feel like he's a little less dangerous now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd probably switch it up between Spears and maybe that stalking guy.
All
He
right.
is the person he's the person I know the least about, even though I've been in his group for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, I recently was on the wrong end of his punch and stick and was his shield. So I can confidently say he's not someone that. But
Right.
sorry, my Bluetooth just randomly connected and disconnected.
That's fine.
Um, but what
All
I'm
right.
saying is he's who
The
knows what
dark
the hell's going
horse.
on with that guy. Yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
dark horse or whatever the shit that is.
And why do you believe you should be selected for this?
I don't care.
Sounds good. Would you like to hear your results from your physical exam and notes from the other day's fight?
Oh boy, yeah, let's hear that.
Fantastic. Your physical exam was rough. Your muscles seem to be in good condition, though, but you need much more diligent and firm training moving forward. So they can get a mentor or something to you more than likely. You seem to have some solid tools in your belt, but you just don't know how to use them. They said your fighting was clumsy, but naturally innate.
I just
The
need to
higher
practice
ups,
again.
yes, the higher ups imagine that with a bit more finessing, you'll be fine and get through. Other than that, you seemed relatively healthy. Besides, you just got the shit kicked out of you out of skill.
Yep. I know when to accept what's going on, you know?
Truly. Can you send in Miss Sanchi next?
Oh, you suck.
And you go to stand up, and yet again, the guards just come in. and they take you because you still got little handcuffies on. The one does pick
Can
up
I
the
take
book
a
and put
book?
it back.
Oh.
And they take you out. And then from there, Sanchi, you get brought on in, gal.
I stand
And
at the front of the room. I cross my arms the best I can, and I look the warden in the eye. What can I do for you?
Good morning. Would you
Good
mind to
day.
take a seat, or do you just
I'm
want to
fine.
stand by the door?
I'm
Okay.
fine here.
Just so you know, there are bars on the other side of the window, so you cannot fly out of it, Sanchi.
Ah, yes, I've noticed. Allies.
Yeah, of course. Regardless, we're glad you made it this far, and I have some questions to ask you and go over your physical exams and the notes from the fight the other day.
Shoot.
All right. What do you believe is your greatest strength you could offer the government?
Oh, well, if it's the government, I've basically been serving the government my whole life.
Define serving the government.
Well, I was born and raised by thieves, and what's really the difference between a government and a thief, right? Served an organization carrying out their will.
Oh.
Excuse you?
She's kind of like raises, like you could tell she's just like, that's a fair point, Sanchi.
Yeah, carry out the will of an organization, no matter how looked down upon it, maybe. And I do it with a lot of skill, a lot of pride in my work, and very happy with working for the government.
And would you remain loyal to the government if we granted you freedom?
Would you? It depends on who the highest bidder is there.
True. I can guarantee that they are willing to do a pretty penny's worth.
I'm sure. They're probably sponsored by the same guild that I was already working for. And I was loyal to them, wasn't I?
This is very true. And you could tell she's holding her tongue. She is just like she's almost wanting to crack. And then she like clears her throat. Are you willing to undergo physical and reformation training?
You mean like rehabilitation? Sure, why not?
Of course.
Why not? What have I got to lose?
And who would you say is the greatest threat in this facility?
Well, seeing as Tasha's still in here, probably you.
Okay. Any particular reason?
Well, Tasha would probably just choose to leave if he could. So I figure whatever's keeping him in here probably is stronger than him.
She like smiles a bit.
That's you. Assume that's your
That
one.
it is. And why do you believe we should select you?
And your choices are Tasha, the madman. You want fighters, right? You want Silith, the pacifist. You want Lyric, the guy who gets taken out instantly. You could take Stakin, I suppose. That leaves you with an empty roster and one Stakin and I guess Spears. Got kinda an empty ballot there. Feel like of all these options, I have the most diverse skill set. I have the most leadership experience, and I'm pretty sure I can take most of them in the fight.
She smiles. She goes, I'm so glad our notes read the same. Speaking of notes, would you like to hear your physical results and the overall notes
As long
that
as
were
they're
given?
positive.
I would say overall, yeah. Your
Yeah.
physical exam showed you are in peak condition, besides a few bumps and bruises, but the only thing that they were really concerned about is your size. but I convinced them that it could be used to their advantage.
I ruffle my feathers. My size is definitely an advantage. And
I agree.
Their brains
They-
are smaller than me.
She's like laughs. She goes, overall, most of the reviewers seemed excited about your willingness to get the job done, but were slightly concerned about the recklessness that you had showed with it. But
They mean expertise. Recklessness.
And she goes, it's one way to put it, for sure. Well, overall, Sanchi, it was really good. But can you bring in Stakin?
Of course.
And you turn around and they're just there. The guards have just opened the door.
I don't wait for them, I leave.
Yep. And so they just kind of guide you on out.
No, I guide
And
them out.
Of course. How could I be so silly? And they just like follow behind you and they're
That's right.
and she just like chuckles. And of course you see Lyric and Silith eating and having a good old time, and there's food for you as well. And they grab Stakin and they bring him right back on in. Stakin, you enter the room. The guards do not. They close the door. Do you sit in the chairs, the table? Do you stand by the door? Where would you like to be?
Oh, you're...
Stakin.
Hold on.
Oh no.
Shoot. I'm so sorry. I was muted.
It's all good.
Thankfully, that one guy can hear me in the other room.
Of course.
So-
Mhm.
Yes.
The
The
alley-oop.
second Monday brain. So, okay. So Stakin goes over to the chair and just kind of has the thinking face where he's hunched over a little bit and he puts his elbows into his legs and he kind of makes the fireball jutsu sign just in front of his mouth, and his fingers are touching his nose. And he
Mhm.
raises an eyebrow and kind of looks at the warden.
He's giving her the rock look.
And she is kind of like stares and she goes, "Good morning, Stakin.
Good morning. What
have
do I owe the pleasure?
It is a pleasure. I have currently some questions I need to ask you, and then just wanted to go over the physical exam and the overall reviews that everyone had from yesterday's fight. Would you like to hear those or just the question?
Are you going to tell me them whether I want to hear them or not, or is that an actual question?
I would say I probably should tell you anyways.
All right, then let's hear it.
First, I'll get to the questions. Because I have some... Sorry, the memes we have in our D&D chat is real good, guys.
Yeah,
But,
why don't you put that in the facts? You could put that on the stream.
True.
No.
Bet. Copy image. Paste image. I want this image. Oh no. It don't want to do. Here. It'll be fine. We'll have that be the thumbnail.
Oh my god, yes.
And so from there, she's like, first I'll ask some questions and we'll go over everything else at the end. Sound good?
All right.
What do you believe is your greatest strength you could offer the government?
Well, I think it's kind of important that I used to have an inside dealing with the government themselves on the police force. So I have that kind of knowledge. Why would as far as other strengths, you have seen that I can hold my own in a fight. Unlike everyone else here, I seem to keep my cool. And I just kind of do what is asked of me. and nothing more. Seems like that could be what the government wants. No.
I would agree. And you're willing to remain loyal to the government if we grant you freedom?
As long as the government doesn't dick me or the people I'm with over, then I think we can reach an agreement, wouldn't you think?
I would imagine so. It's honestly out of my hands, but yes.
Mm-hmm. Then why are you the one asking the questions?
Because I'm the one in charge of you currently. And it's me that gets to decide if you move on or not.
Seems a rather foolish thing that they aren't here themselves to make this decision.
Never said they weren't.
But you and I both know that they will never show their face in this particular instance.
There you go. And she just like kind of leans back almost. And then she goes, and are you willing to undergo physical and any reformation training?
Define reformation.
So in short, they're going to make sure you're prepared for your current role that you'll be getting if they decide to go forward with you.
And what kind of training does that involve?
I would imagine for what you're going to be doing and what their notes state, they are definitely going to be having you do kind of more work than the other candidates that they like. They're looking at you and kind of going into what they wrote in here, that you have a strong sense of leadership skill and already kind of possess the core, not really qualities, but more so you already have the mental mindset there because of your background. You're more experienced.
So, I guess with that in mind, I will do what is necessary for the time being. And I can give you a maybe.
All right.
But if there's any funny business on your end, you can guarantee that I don't think I'll be involved.
Fair enough.
And
she notes it all.
Stakeen kind of raises his eyebrow a bit and chuckles.
Is there something funny, Stocking?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. I just have a couple more questions. Who do you believe is the greatest threat in this facility?
Have you asked everybody else the same questions? Because if so, I think you'll get a pretty like-minded answer from everybody.
So far, yes.
Hmm.
Been a few wrenches in there, but
Of course. I don't think my answers are much different. Tasha seems to be the obvious one. Sanchi, of course. But if you want another wrench thrown in there, most of Tasha's group tends to be a little
ruthless.
would you say problematic? But otherwise, I feel like it might just be mostly Tasha who seems to be pulling the strings there. And you can take that as you will. You seem to have more knowledge than I do in this matter. However, Tasha seems to have grown, I guess, a little uneasy in the facility lately. And keeping that under control is an undertaking in itself. Wouldn't you agree that the most dangerous force in here are the ones keeping those who are a danger to its citizens behind bars? That is the facade you want to create, correct?
Doesn't need to be a facade.
Then how about the story that you want to continue to uphold?
It's a little bit more accurate.
That's what I thought. And that is what I believe is the most dangerous or the biggest threat.
And why do you believe you should be selected?
Like I said earlier, you want someone who can follow orders, doesn't question much, someone who can essentially be your puppet. You want to pick someone else, like Tasha, Wade, someone who has a little more reason to go rogue? You do that. But I feel like I've made myself very clear on where I stand.
Sounds good to me. I had no further questions, but I'm just going to go over your physical exam and the reviews. Is that okay?
Mhm. It's fine by me.
Your physical exam came back overwhelmingly normal to the point where you didn't have any 0.5s, 0.2s, 0.1s. You were straight across even, which made the nurse concerned. But I just told her, you're just healthy. The higher ups do appreciate your mental awareness and calm nature overall. They have very high hopes for you and seem excited that you made it this far.
Hmm.
That was about it. Nothing too
They.
crazy or scary.
What was your. If I can ask a question, when
Mm-hmm.
you say normal,
Mm-hmm.
what were you testing?
If only I knew. That was them requiring the testing. I just have the results at the end of the sheet.
I see. Well, I hope I've been a good help to you, Warden, as you've
Always,
definitely answered a
Stephanie.
few of my questions.
Of course. You can go back and have breakfast now.
All right. You have a good day. And
You as
Stockine
well.
kind of dips down low into a bow as he leaves.
Absolutely. And just as everyone else had to experience it, the guards are just there. She doesn't call them in. They just chill in there. And with that, you go walking back, and they're kind of like following behind you, and they're just chilling, not saying much or anything. The rest of you are all in the good old. What? Did I actually make a separate map for this? No. Okay. Thank God. I was like, what? So you go back to the subblock, or all of you do. I swear to Jeebus. There we go. And oops. Oh well, they could sit down there for now. Technically, they're not fully there, but we'll just say they're there now since they're on the map already. And you all are sitting there. Spears is back. Wade's over there. Everyone's in there. It seems like everyone slowly but surely kind of files in. Spears is kind of, the last to join your guys' table. Tasha, Connor, Wade, you notice, Scylla, they were already out and about and back by the time you got back. And overall, all of you guys have been just sitting here kind of eating because there's a lot of guards in the room currently. Until Spears comes back and he sits down and he starts eating and he takes a seat next to Lyric. And you all are munching and a crunching. And Spears kind of looks at the table, doesn't say anything, but you guys have a chance to speak.
Oh. Okay. Did they ask you guys the same questions?
Did any of you say Wade was the strongest?
It took me
I
everything in my
did.
power to not single him out.
What?
And
Wade.
Spears speaks up. I did.
Oh, good. At least
Oh?
Wade's on the radar. Who else did you put down?
Why didn't
Yeah.
you say anything, Sanchi, if you were so concerned about Wade?
I put down the warden and I put down Tasha. They seemed like good answers.
That's what everybody said, according to the warden.
Oh, well,
Not you, Spears, Tasha.
you know what they say. Whenever a lot of people guess the same answer, it's usually the right one.
Mm-hmm. That could be good or bad, either way you think about it.
I'm not too worried.
You'd be the only one.
I don't think so. Spears, are you worried?
Not for me.
See? See? What about the rest of you? What'd you put down for your answers?
I put down the threat, not necessarily the strength. They asked threats, not strength, and therefore the warden would not be a threat to the environment. Not to mention, 1,000 versus 1 is not an individual strength nor threat.
I interpreted threat as more of if everyone were to go against everyone, who has the best odds?
I mean, threats is more than just physical strength, it's also the ability to manipulate or the inability to follow orders.
Yes,
And with that, stares directly at Sanchi.
It certainly sounds like you're talking about the warden in that case. Threatening, manipulating.
But
pulling
again, are they a
strings.
threat to the prison?
I mean, they're a threat in the prison.
But have you ever experienced anything from the warden themselves?
I bet
In
you
what
I
ways have they
could.
shown to be threatening? Just because someone is in a position of power does not mean they are the most suitable for it, nor the most damaging, dangerous, threatening.
But that doesn't mean they're completely innocent and devoid of that
True,
in
especially in
particular.
a situation like this where you're more or less in charge of people who are delinquents and relatively unruly.
I mean, they certainly refer to some apocryphal higher-ups, but at the end of the day, they're the highest up that we get to interact with.
And yet, it's their orders, not making own decision.
Well,
That is not threat.
that's the same. That's a threat to us, anyway. In
Okay, but
our
not.
environment, that's a threat.
If you can expect it, is it a threat?
All right. Well, you know what? Tasha's not a threat to himself.
If you
Actually,
know a
Tasha might be,
landmine is
but
there and you know to avoid the landmine, is it a threat to you?
yes, of course. So's the warden. I know to avoid the warden. The warden's still a threat to me.
If you do not interact, it is no threat. Lava is
Mine
no
is
threat
still
to
a
me in this
threat.
particular situation because there is no lava.
I do not see how the lava is working for you in this metaphor. The lava's not even in the
It is
prison.
not a threat to me. If it is not in my vicinity, if I have no opportunity to interact with it, is it a threat?
Alright, but I do have the opportunity to interact with the warden.
Not if you follow the rules. Especially
Alright,
because she
I
seems
think
very
that
not following the rules.
I feel like that's missing the point of the question.
No, it is something that I can
Well, in that
understand
case, Tasha's
and
not a threat either,
work
because
around it.
if I just if
Tasha
I
is not
fly
someone that you
away,
can.
Tasha can't even reach me.
Are you
Lyric slams
sure?
his hands down on the table and looks
Are
at
you
Sanchi.
sure?
Sanchi, I have to know, how the hell did they get you to be loyal to the government? I
Owl's
have to know. There is
secret.
no bigger mystery to me in this world right now.
Owl's secret.
How secret my ass. I will call you by your name for the rest of the month if you tell me right now.
Oh, well, I told them that I worked for the government in a past life.
In what past life have you worked for the government? You've been with the Thieves Guild your whole fucking life. So, Lyric stands on the table and points down at
I mean,
Sanchi.
What's the
this makes
difference?
sense.
You,
You think a Thieves Guild would still exist if the government did not know and sanction it?
You
do you
think the
think that
Thieves
someone like
Guild
me could
doesn't
be
work?
considered a government worker? I mean, I
You think
guess I am now.
the Thieves
Look
Guild
at my,
doesn't work hand in hand with the government? Were you
The-
born yesterday?
Then why are we here?
Knowing her, she was probably put here to be here. In this
No,
spot.
I mean, if the Thieves Guild works for the government, then why are any of us here? Last I checked,
Because
well,
they wanted to
not
teach me a
fucking.
lesson, that's why.
Some of us are
What the hell
important
lesson
to the
did you
Thieves
have to
Guild.
learn?
That's their orders are their orders, and my personal feelings mean nothing. And even when I follow along, even when they break my own code, that they will still fuck you over. That's what I learned.
Seriously, how the hell did you get in here?
Specifically, because someone gave me a bad target to make sure that I got caught liberating some possessions from a rich man who has money to fuck me over.
So murder's not okay, but stealing is.
That was my job that I do not agree with, yes.
Well,
Let's not get high and mighty.
alright, I understand now.
Murder's fine too.
Sonchi, you are always going to be a mystery to me. And Lyric just jumps back down into his seat.
That's the way I like it.
You do not value life at all. That's
no, I
plain
do.
as maybe yours,
Well, of course
but
he
you do
doesn't.
not value life.
Of course she doesn't value life the way others do. Look where she grew up. And no offense, I know I'm in the same line of work as you.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Sanji, we've been on some... Never mind, I'm not going to talk about it. But... Oh, just don't ever piss Sanji off.
Can I have your pudding?
I think that's quite
But-
funny because I feel like I am the perfect match for Sanchi because I know how to get around her defenses.
Oh my god, you actually fight?
Yes, I do.
Wait.
I just do not fight willy-nilly.
My
I do
eyes
not waste
narrow
energy.
at you.
Lyric, by the way, doesn't answer
see.
Sanchi and reaches over for her pudding.
I slap
Sleight of
his
hand.
hand.
Wait, I'm gonna do a sleight of hand. I'm gonna do sleight of hand.
Go
My
for it.
specialty
I'll
is
contest.
to go.
Oh fuck! Don't even contest.
No, do it. Do it.
Oh
Contest.
my god! Oh no!
Sanchi,
Lyric,
you go to stop him
I
from
got the
taking
higher
your
roll.
pudding. You did.
No,
You
you didn't
go
get the
to-
higher roll. You got the higher.
I got
result.
yeah
There's a
in
difference.
skill checks. In skill checks,
Yes,
ones
but
and
a nat
20s
one
don't
is
mean
still
anything.
a failure.
No, in skill
You
checks.
Still
know.
a failure.
In skill checks, they don't mean anything. It's the number, not crit fail, not crit success. It's the number.
No worries. You may have bested him from stealing your pudding, but you accidentally knocked it onto the floor. And it lands there. And none of you get the pudding.
That's fair. I love that.
Lyric. Wait, is Lyric's pudding still fine?
Yes.
Oh my god.
This is the most
Lyric,
frazzled
I
Sanchi's
don't-
been in months.
Lyric slides his pudding
All right,
over
Ogo-san.
to Sanchi, and just like
Aww.
slowly reaches out a hand to pet Sanchi.
That's low key kind of cute though, in a stupid way.
Sanchi takes the pudding gratefully.
Make sure you don't drop this one.
Uh,
And with
Lyric-
that, oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say, I thought I said this earlier, but I just realized like 4 minutes ago that I was muted. So
Same team.
yeah, I pulled an
the
ATP.
only one.
Yeah,
Hey.
like minutes after too. That's the sad thing. I
No,
wanted to
that's-
look at Spears.
Respect.
I wanted to look at Spears and say, by the way, I did bring your name up for being one of the deadly ones. I didn't mean to like single you out, but I just wanted to tell them that you were kind of badass. And apparently they already knew you made your bow.
Yeah, they told me.
They told him.
They've been watching
really
the
have
whole
a
They
tight
time.
didn't
look
tell
around
me
us.
you said that, but they said they
Hmm?
like how crafty I am.
Yeah, you are pretty damn crafty. I still don't know how you made that shit.
I got lucky before pissed off Franklin died.
Yeah, fuck that guy. He's a dick.
Truly. And with
Oh my
that,
God.
you all just kind of have like that weird moment of like discussion silence as you all start eating again, and this, that, and the third, and you hear Wade clear his throat.
Ahem.
So is it safe to say we're no longer any sort of alliance? And right when he ends it, like before he even barely finishes the word alliance, you all just hear this slamming of Wade's head onto the table as he falls to the ground as Tasha stands. And that is where we end tonight's session.
No!
Well, good I didn't put my money on
I
Wade.
was so ready to go!
Oh boy, oh boy. It get spicy.
Well, now I wish I
Oh,
could
boy.
post the concern picture again.
Here, I will do it for the stream. I will
Well,
go through
that's-
these great lengths once more.
I mean, I'm
Oh, hot
already on
damn.
the ending screen, so it's
Good. Then
not
they
gonna be
will
seen.
get to see it as the thumbnail.
Goodbye forever. Wait a second.
Yep.
Perf.
Almost.
what-
Until tomorrow. And then you get to see me
See?
again with
And what will we be
ATV for
doing?
more Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper?
Oh,
Yeah,
the,
Dr.
the
Pepper.
fanciest
Where's-
soda ever. Dr.
true.
Uh,
Yuck.
Pepper. Dr.
20
Pepper
It's
and
like-
his infectious 23 ingredients.
23 cherry flavored flavors.
Yeah, we can taste all of them. All 23 cherries.
All 23. Oh, and I might as well get to tell you guys this.
Yeah.
You may or may not have a level up next time, so start looking at least.
I
Shoot.
mean, doesn't that imply we're gonna survive whatever? Are you implying we're gonna choose life?
Stop being meta.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying.
Are
I
you
would recommend
implying
looking.
I'm not gonna kill myself on Tasha?
You know what? That is your own choice if you choose to do so. But I think you have a few obstacles in your way. But
I mean, you told me I should let you jump off a bridge, so.
Yeah.
That was
Oh,
not
don't
the
worry,
meaning
Lyric's
behind
going with
those
ya.
words.
You told me to let you jump off the bridge.
The words
That's
are
what I got.
let your friends do what is right even if it's damaging to them. Anyways,
I more or
goodbye
less
everyone.
said you would let your friend commit suicide, and you were like, yep, okay, that's cool.
That was your interpretation. That wasn't the meaning.
Why do you think she was pissed off?
let us know in the comments below.
Oh my god.
Don't.
Oh yes, the comments below. Let's go. Let's see them.
Let's go.
Honestly, that would be such a fun review afterwards. Ready?
Honestly.
Any
Ray?
last words?
I hope everyone had a good time.
Peace
Toodles!
out.
Good night, everyone.